South Africans, I think it's time we have this conversation. We grow up being taught that voting is important, of which it's very important. But I think the education is vice versa. Because which entity really ensures that even after you vote, your vote and your rights will be protected? And we grew up going through primary and high school, and nobody taught us about the Human Rights Commission. So now let's have a conversation. For those of you who might not know, what is the Human Rights Commission? Let me read it out. The Human Rights Commission is an independent constitutional body created to create, promote, and monitor human rights in South Africa. It exists primarily to make sure that the rights guaranteed in the Constitution are respected by government institutions, businesses, organizations, and individuals. It is one of the Chapter 9 institutions of South Africa. Now, what is the purpose of the Human Rights Commission? It exists to serve as a watchdog for human rights. Its role is to govern the country and make laws. And Rona, we have it the other way around. We think that the president and his cabinet are the only primary people who govern. That's why black people are not represented in terms of economic structures. Hence, why foreign nationals are able to do whatever they please. Because the one department that we need to keep our eyes on, we don't keep an eye on it because we are not well informed. The thing that is supposed to protect our rights economically, socially, it is not working for us, and we don't know how it operates. Now, this is a funny thing. Some of you who are on social media, imagine the Human Rights Commission was formulated in the 90s, in the early 90s there, early 90s close to late 90s. Since that time until 2026, the Human Rights Commission has only filed 8 reports. And what does that mean for you as the average South African who votes all the time, particularly as a black, colored person, or even Indian? What that means is this. They are saying in the past 30 years, there's only 8 issues in South Africa that require the attention of the government. The representation of black people, colored people in the economy, it's not spoken of. So you understand how deep this issue is. That it doesn't matter which political party you vote for the EFF, whoever. If we do not get the process of creating a process of watching if the Human Rights Commission does its job, your vote is practically useless because politicians can do whatever they like. Now, you must ask yourself a very paramount question. Why is it that the Human Rights Commission is not publicly advertised in the way that even a grade 4, grade 5, grade 7 child is able to understand that me as a child of South Africa, the thing that will govern my rights and push that I am protected, it is the Human Rights Commission. Why isn't that information public? We grew up learning about Bokhara Asmali, Bombazima Mshilowa, but nobody taught us about the importance of making sure that as a citizen, you understand that the Human Rights Commission is there to protect your liberties and your rights. So you understand this is by design. This is by design. So you better wake up, South Africans. In the Matrix, there's that scene where there's a blue pill and the red pill. Choose the right direction. Let's fight so that in the coming next national election, we have fixed that institution called the Human Rights Commission, because there needs to be a quarterly report of how they have ensured that the economy becomes better for the average South African. Cost of living becomes better for the average South African. Opportunities are designed for the average South African. That's why they don't want us to know what that institution is for. Wake up.